Guess which one of these 3 retirement spending strategies is going to give you more wealth in retirement? Option 1 is something that you're probably doing along with the vast majority of Americans. Option 2 is the same scenario, but now we're using a financial instrument that's a bit controversial. Option 3 is again using that controversial financial instrument, but with a twist. Now, take a second and try and guess which one of these is the winner. Let's take a look. Let's say you're planning for a 30-year retirement. We'll use a large circle to represent your investment portfolio and a smaller circle to represent your home equity. So we've got the investment portfolio and your home equity. We'll divide these each into 6 slices. Each slice will represent 5 years of your retirement. For simplicity, we're going to ignore elements like inflation, asset growth, home appreciation, and taxes. And we're also going to ignore any other income that you might have besides these 2 areas. We'll consider a $1.5 million portfolio and a $750,000 home. We are going to consider that you're drawing down from your investments $50,000 per year for living expenses, or one of the $250,000 slices for 5 years. Now, even though the investment slices are worth $250,000, remember that the home value slices are each $125,000. And that's why I'm making the circle about half the size of the investment portfolio. And let's also talk about the timing of the market during these years. Years 1 to 10 are going to be normal years in the stock market. Years 10 to 15 will represent a severe downturn in the stock market. Years 15 to 25 are again normal. And finally, years 25 to 30 represent another downturn in the stock market. Now, I'm no Picasso, and as a musician, I'm better with the trumpet than with the pen, but I hope you get the idea. Now, during down years, your portfolio withdrawals are going to double, meaning that 5 years of withdrawals, it takes $500,000 from the portfolio, not $250,000. So let's take a look at option number 1. We have it right here before us, and remember that each of these is worth $250,000, and each of these slices is worth $125,000. All right, so we have years 1 to 5 going by, and you take those out of your investment portfolio. Years 5 to 10 go by, you again take those out of your investment portfolio. Years 10 to 15 happen, that's when we have that downturn, and you're forced to take $500,000 out of your portfolio, representing 2 of these slices. Years 15 to 20 happen, and then you're going to use up, again, another slice of this portfolio, and the years 20 to 25 happen, and you're here. So you're now at year 25. You've got 5 years left of life, and you have no other option in your mind but to sell your home. So you sell this home, and you liquidate it, and you buy a $500,000 condo. So this home equity is now used up for the condo. And now you have an extra $250,000 to live on, which you do for your remaining 5 years. And when you die, your heirs are able to inherit the $500,000 condo, but none of the other investments that you've already used up. So what are the downsides to this option? Well, you've had to move out of your house. That's a big downside. And your heirs will no longer be able to inherit the family home. And you had no options left if you were to live beyond 30 years in retirement. Okay, so now let's take a look at option number 2. So again, we have the investment portfolio and your home. And a large circle for the investment portfolio, a smaller circle for the home value, each divided into sixths. This being worth 1.5. And this being worth 750,000. So years 1 to 5 go by in the same way as before. Years 5 to 10 go in the same way. Again, years 10 to 15 are the downturn in the market, so you have to take 2 of these slices. Years 15 to 20, again, you're taking 1 of these slices. Years 20 to 25, you're taking another of these slices. Now you have that downturn in the market between years 25 and 30. So you look at your home and you think, well, what else could I do besides sell my home? And you decide to take out a reverse mortgage instead. So you're able to get a reverse mortgage for about half the value of your home, or $375,000. So in that last 5 years of your life, you use up 2 of these slices, representing $250,000. And then if you were to die at this point, you would have still $500,000 left in the equity of your home for your heirs to inherit when you die. Now, the upsides of this situation are that you didn't have to move out of your home. The other upside is that your children are able to inherit that family home if they choose to, and buy it and still continue to live in it. And the other upside is that if you were to live another 2.5 years, you'd have enough equity within your reverse mortgage to last. That extra $125,000 would last you another 2.5 years. So that's option number 2. Let's look at option number 3. So again, get your home and your investment portfolio. Larger circle here, smaller circle here, dividing it into sixths. And this is again a $1.5 million value. And this is a $750,000 value. Let's take a look at years 1 to 5. Well, you do the same thing as in options 1 and 2. Years 5 to 10, you do again the same thing. But you've had the foresight to take out a reverse mortgage right at the time of retirement. So this reverse mortgage is already in place. So you already have $375,000 that you could access if you needed to, which comes in handy in years 10 to 15, because those are the years when we have a market downturn, when it's the worst time to take money out of your portfolio. So you definitely avoid that, because you're not going to be doing the worst thing. You're going to be taking this better option that you have over here, which is to take $250,000 out of your home equity. So that uses up 2 of the slices of your home equity. So then in years 15 to 20, it's again a normal market, so you take money out of your portfolio. Years 20 to 25, again a normal market, you take money out of your portfolio. Years 25 to 30 happen, and you realize, okay, another downturn in the market, so I'm going to take the remaining $125,000 out of my portfolio, out of my home equity, and then I'm going to take $125,000 out of my investment portfolio. But because it's a down year, that actually doubles, and it's actually using up $250,000 of your portfolio. So now, when you die, that 30-year mark, if you did, then you'd be left with $375,000 of home equity and $250,000 of your investment portfolio, for a total of $625,000 that your heirs would receive. Now, let's look at the upsides of this option. Again, you didn't have to sell your home. Again, your children could inherit that home and pay off the mortgage and keep the family home in the family. And 3, you end up with $625,000 versus $500,000 in the first 2 scenarios. And if you wanted to, or if you were able to, you could live another 5 years off this remaining money sitting in your investment portfolio. So you have longevity protection in that situation, plus you have greater money going to the heirs. So let's recap. So in option number 1, you end up with a $500,000 condo that your heirs get to inherit. You no longer have the option of inheriting the family home. That's off the table. So the family home is out of the picture, but you can inherit the $500,000 condo. Option 2 is a scenario in which you first used up your investment portfolio, then you got a reverse mortgage, and were able to leave your heirs with $500,000 in home equity. And option 3 is the coordinated strategy in which you took out a reverse mortgage at the beginning of retirement, and you ended up with more money, $625,000, and the ability to keep the family home in the family. So I think it's a pretty clear representation of which one is the most powerful. I think it's this coordinated strategy that allows you to use a mix of elements in your retirement spending rather than just relying on one element, that being your investment portfolio.